carries unanimously. And that brings us to item number 14, which is to authorize the city manager to execute a professional service agreement with Novo Planning Group for facilitation and preparation of the Envision Campbell Plan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. So I do want to make certain that you're aware that Novo Planning Group rep Ben Ritchie is in the audience. Ben, and he'll come up and address himself right after my brief presentation. So back March 1, we brought forward to you the agreement that the council subcommittee worked on with a revised scope of work with a resolution to select Novo Planning Group as the consultant for the Envision Campbell Plan, and to authorize the city manager to negotiate, award, and execute the contract with Novo. The City Council began to discuss the subcommittee scope changes, and you continued that matter in order to include a modification to the financial analysis portion of the scope, include a deliverable breakdown. You wanted the subcommittee actually to meet with Mr. Ritchie to talk a little bit more about the scope of work, and then to bring that back to the City Council for final approval. March 31st is when the subcommittee met with, and the city manager and myself met with Mr. Ritchie, and at that meeting we talked about the different changes that you had identified at your March 1st meeting. And the hope was that we would expedite the process a little bit more. The subcommittee thought the costs could be lower if there were fewer meetings. In fact, this revised scope actually has 24 fewer meetings. But we've also added on additional work, such as the 3 levels of land use analysis intensity. We switched the traffic consultant from W-Trans to Fair and Piers. And then also the consultant will need to prepare a technical memo on the housing element to make certain that it's consistent with any other changes that we have in the Envision Campbell plan. So in that regard, the cost pretty much stayed the same. You also mentioned that or the subcommittee mentioned that we really need to look at a contingency built into the total project cost. So if there are any changes through the process, we don't have to keep coming back to the council. So a 10% contingency was viewed as something to consider. So as a result of that, we have attached the revised scope of work, the revised cost breakdown. The total project cost is $1,064,642. The contract cost is actually $10,000 less, though. $5,000 for the app and $5,000 for the GPAC meetings for goodies and refreshments, etc. Those won't be in the contract. So I just want to distinguish between the two. So staff is recommending that you now authorize the acceptance of this revised scope and cost breakdown, and authorize your city manager to complete the paperwork necessary to enter into the agreement. And on the resolution, just make certain that on the now therefore at the very bottom, the $95,977 should actually be $95,877. That was a minor issue there. So with that, that concludes staff's report, and I can bring up Mr. Ritchie to introduce himself, if you'd like.
Okay, why don't you, if you want to come up and say hello, Mr. Ritchie. Second, part B of the presentation, we'll count this as.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members. Ben Ritchie, I'm a principal with Novo Planning Group. I also happen to be a co-owner of the firm. I'll be your project manager for the general plan update. You'll be seeing quite a bit of me. I had a chance to meet with Vice Mayor Gibbons and Councilmember Christina on multiple times to talk about the project. We're extremely appreciative for this opportunity. We're very excited about this project. We think Campbell's a wonderful community, and we're just very eager to really roll up our sleeves, get to know the community, get to know you guys. It's going to be a very inclusive process. Public outreach is a cornerstone of our work effort, and we're really just looking forward to delivering a product that's reflective of your city and your values. So I'm happy to answer any questions and look forward to getting started.
All right. I will take questions from council, but if any of the subcommittee members have any sort of introductory remarks they want to add to anything, I'd entertain that as well.
I think we'll be able to get into it a little bit.
Yep, okay. All right, are there any questions from council of staff or of the consultant at this point? And you can ask them later too, but I just want to do some questions, and then if not, then I will take comments from the public. I don't believe I have any cards on this item. Does any member of the public wish to speak on this item? If not, I'll close the public hearing and bring it back to council for discussion and eventually at some point a motion. Councilmember Christina.
Blown through tonight. I wasn't expecting this. Yeah,
That's
there's
why-
still a couple more coming. Yeah, I think Vice Mayor and I really vetted the group, and we had a good discussion at the last meeting. And the only thing that really came up that I had any type of concern about was what we spoke about at our study session, actually, and how we're going to be able to incorporate peak democracy. Thank you. I was at a loss there. Peak democracy with their current web program or online program for the city, and how they're going to mesh. But if we have that link that we're able to give them, we might be able to get some of those answers. I don't think that it's going to be a problem that's going to really slow us down or slow down the process, but to be able to engage the public in a new, exciting way, which Peak Democracy does, I think is something that we really should have focused through de novo for the general plan. So I think we did a really good job. I'm happy, and I'm excited as well to work with them.
Vice Mayor Givens?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I agree with Councilmember Christina. I would like to compliment the de novo group that they were really delightful to read their proposal. We actually could read their proposal. We had some heavy reading to do to go through all four of them. And they were very responsive to the questions that we asked for the interview, and then being willing and patient for us in our timing to get you back down to discuss the scope refinements and changes and managing the budget. I think they, Ben and the firm's representatives who came were very flexible and open and genuine, and I think I certainly had a very good comfort level, and I believe Councilmember Christina did, that they will be a good fit for working with our community and with the GPAC, which is very important to the council. And we also are of note, we had discussions about how the money should be paid out. It is a lump sum contract, but we agreed that it would be invoiced by percentage complete by task. So there is control on what we're paying and what we're getting for what we're paying for, if you followed my logic there. And we also stressed that time is of the essence to our community. We are at, Campbell is at a major point in its fitting in with the rest of what's happening around us, and all of the major decisions that are happening around us, to us, and because of us, and for us. And they have a lot to keep track of, and I'm optimistic that they will be able to do that. Their biggest challenge, and it's a challenge for our community, is community participation. We're going to be having outreach meetings. De Novo is going to be having outreach meetings. Participation, if you care about this city, if you care about your neighborhood, you have to participate. I mean, it's as simple as that. You're going to have plenty of opportunity. Please spread the word that this is happening and people need to participate. If you want to have a say, you got to participate. That's my, whatever you want to call it, speech. So I'm very pleased that it went well, and look forward to having a very strong and productive and exciting relationship.
All right. Is there any other comments from council? I just want to thank the subcommittee members for the tremendous amount of work you all put in, and I'm glad that you will be continuing forward on this, and sometimes don't agree. So it's nice to know that on this one you agree, and that gives me a confidence that it will work out well.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah. Are there, unless there's any other comments, do I hear a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion. Or Councilmember Kotowski, did you?
No, I just wanted to mirror the comments and thanking both of you for working on this. And it is a point that we have been pushing for a long time to get our general plan into conformance. And it's been so long since we actually studied the full general plan. It's always been piecemeal. But I've always said from this seat that we must look at the general plan with the rate of development that's going on here in the city. Otherwise, it's going to come over the top of us with a lot of teeth, and I don't think we want that. You guys did a great job. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Christina?
All right. Well, Ben, I didn't think it was going to be this quick for you, but
Don't get used to it.
yeah. I move that the City Council take the following action: review the final contract, which includes the previously approved changes to the consultant scope of work, and 2, review the financial cost breakdown for the total estimated project costs, and 3, adopt the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a professional services agreement with the Novo Planning Group for facilitation and preparation of Envision Campbell Plan in the amount not to exceed $958,765 and encumber a contingency in the amount not to exceed $95,877 for a total contract amount not to exceed $1,054,642, and 4, to approve the attached budget adjustment in the amount of $914,642.
I second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Christina, seconded by Vice Mayor Gibbons. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Kotowski?
Aye.
Councilmember Resnikoff?
Aye.
Councilmember Christina?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gibbons?
Aye.
Mayor Baker?
Aye. That motion carries unanimously.